Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today is day 3 of the Halloween week of videos, and today's film is Cannibal Holocaust. I believe it is, and from everything I've read, the first found footage film. It's a lot different than most found footage films. I think, you're used to the films now like Paranormal Activity, Blair Witch Project. It starts off, we found this footage, these people are dead, here's what happens. And that's the gist of it, and then you see the footage, and thus they die at the end. Sorry to ruin them for you. Cannibal Holocaust is very different. Cannibal Holocaust starts off, you learn about these people who have disappeared and that they're shooting this documentary in the rainforest around indigenous tribes who I guess are cannibals. I believe they know they're cannibals. And they go in to hopefully find the people and maybe find the footage. They go in, they find the footage, they bring it back, and they encounter all sorts of crazy things on the way, through these tribes. The people who were there before the crew obviously did something bad to get killed. They get the footage, they bring it back to America because they were filming it for a TV channel, and they watch the footage, and they actually kind of have a moral debate over whether they should release this footage, because not only have these people died, but they did some horrible things in the footage. They actually morally think about, why are we releasing this? And I think when you look at Paranormal Activity or Blair Witch Project, they never even question it. It's just the footage, and this film has a whole act before you even get to the footage where they get the footage, and then while they're watching the footage, they have breaks and they talk about, like, should we let this out? I mean, is this just too horrible to let out? I mean, these people died, they did some horrible things. It looks at it in a different way, and I think it's a lot heavier of a film than Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch Project by quite a lot. I mean, it's incredibly gory and disgusting. I think some of the images in this movie are just going to be trapped in my brain for forever, and they've been trapped in my brain for too long as it is, and it's just, it's incredibly disgusting. Like, if you're not hardcore into horror movies or movies in general, I don't think you should see this movie, because it might turn you off movies for good, because it's pretty horrific, some of the things they do to both animals and people. And unfortunately, the animals in this film were actually, the animals you see getting killed are actually being killed, which I don't really condone at all. I think that's pretty horrible. I don't know, the one scene with the turtle was particularly hard for me to get through. This film's really about, because these people did some horrible things to these tribes. When they went and they hurt, they hurt all these people, and it really shows, like, who is really the savage world? Is modern world savage, or are these, tribes who live in the rainforest in the middle of nowhere? What happened on the set of this film is just, like, he did some really horrible things. The director, he really treated a lot of those people like shit, and, like, everyone who played tribes people, that he didn't credit them, and a lot of people think he didn't pay them, he just gave them a meal, which I hope it was a good meal, but I don't think it was. And he just, kind of pushed the line, especially, that he was killing actual animals. So it's interesting on a certain level. It's really talking about the ethics of filming things like this, but at the same time, they were actually doing it. It's interesting to think about the morals of the thing you're releasing, and I've never seen quite a horror film do that quite as well as Cannibal Holocaust. Usually it comes out very preachy and kind of apologetic, and this film's neither of those things. I mean, it's very in your face about it, but at the same time it has a point to everything it's doing, so it's not just empty shock. It really packs a powerful punch. The director got in a lot of trouble. It did really well in Italy. This is an Italian film. He was actually arrested, and they really thought, I mean, the animal stuff was that, he probably should have gotten in trouble for that, but they actually thought he made a snuff film, just because no one had really made a film with quite the amount of realism that this film has, the whole found footage idea, since it was so new. And he actually had the actors who appear in the footage that they find not appear in any media or TV, and have them sign a contract to not be in any movies or TV for a year, so people would really believe it, much like what the Blair Witch Project did later, when they had a website to convince people it was real. He actually had to have the actors come on a TV show to convince people that they were not actually dead and this wasn't a snuff film. And there's a particular special effect he had where there was a stake through someone's whole body that they thought was real, which actually wasn't. He didn't I don't think kill anyone. I think he was kind of a prick, though. Sergio Leone himself was impressed with this film. He actually wrote him a letter just saying like how great of a film it was. The first two music sequences, they have this like dark, like heavy synth, typical horror kind of score, and then they have this like kind of softer acoustic thing. And I really like the score. I think this is a really great score. Seeing like people just ripped apart and like horribly raped and everything I saw in this movie, it's just one of the grossest, most disturbing movies, but I think it's probably one of the better horror movies I've ever seen, and I can't recommend it enough. But another part of me thinks it's really way too much for a lot of people. So if you're really grossed out by violence, you should absolutely never see this movie ever. But if you are more of an adult about it and aren't a complete pussy, I don't think I'll ever forget about this movie. I don't know if I can ever sit through it again, not anytime soon, because it's just I can't get those images out of my head in a shocking, disturbing way. Just like some of the things I saw were just... So if you have seen Cannibal Holocaust and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments. Subscribe if you would like to. And come back tomorrow for day 4 of the Halloween week of videos. And I will have 4 and 5, I hope, within 24 hours of each other, but maybe not. But they will still be out before Halloween. And yeah,